official introduction. 5'3" with the big brown eyes and a smile that's lethal. She on the vlog lane now, coming for the title, believe it.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl T Michelle back here with another video, and today we are going to do a movie review. It's our first movie review, guys. Now, in honor of Lupus Awareness Month, the next couple of videos that I do will have an all-purple set. An all-purple set, a purple microphone, a purple shirt. Now we doing a Michael movie review, but this ain't Michael, this is Jimmy. But it's all right though. It's okay because you know it's Jimmy. You can't beef too much about Jimmy. You know what I'm saying? But okay, so today we're gonna do our Michael review. I think I saw this movie a week ago. We're gonna talk about the things that I loved about the movie. We're going to talk about the things that I hated. And the takeaway of it all. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, you don't watch this because it's spoilers. It's definitely spoilers. If you didn't go see it yet, if you don't want to see it, whatever, that's your business. But if you ain't seen it yet, click off now because I'm not holding back on this one. All right, y'all. Let's get into it. So, we're going to talk about what I loved about the movie first. Jafar motherfucker Jackson. Let me tell y'all. Now, y'all know from my What's Really Good videos when I had told y'all how Janet and Jermaine was beefing and all type of stuff like that. And I said, I don't think it has nothing to do with Jafar. I just think it got a lot to do with who made the screenplay, who's directing it, how they shot certain scenes and stuff. Like watching it, I could kind of see why Janet had a little beef. I could kind of see why Paris had a little beef. You know, I could kind of get it. But Jafar, I told y'all that dude was gonna like really do his uncle justice, and I was absolutely right. That nigga did his uncle justice. It was a beautiful tribute to his uncle. Now, if you anything of my age, you know that we gonna automatically compare this to the Jacksons and American Dream. To me, that's the best Michael movie that was ever made. Even though it wasn't about Michael, it was about the Jacksons. But still, to me, the casting, the outfits, the music, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%. This, let me get close though. This right here, like I said, Jafar. Jafar did his thing. So many people imitate Michael that is like that shit that Flex did. I don't know what that was, but that was like a fake ass, cheap ass imitation, and it was very disrespectful. And even Flex admits that shit was disrespectful and he shouldn't have did it. But you could tell, you know, people put their voice up real high and they start to talk like this, and I love the children and I don't want any germs on me, and they start doing shit like that. That's imitation. That is making a mockery of this man. Jafar, there were certain times in the movie where it was like, yo, he really sound like Michael, even down to the laugh. Like, and I don't know if that was his laugh, if that's how he really laughed, but it sound exactly like Michael. So I think Jafar did an amazing job with the performances, with the dancing. He did a good job. So I had a couple of favorite scenes in the movie, you know what I'm saying? The beaded scene. The beaded scene, baby. When that man said, it's a feeling, it's a feeling, it's a feeling. And I said, now hold on. I was ready, but I wasn't ready. I said, wow, whoa. The beat said he had that shit on point. Down to every single move, he had it on point. Another favorite, the ending scene, the bad scene. Now, granted, I seen that performance at Wembley because that's where they took it from. They took it from Wembley. On point, spot on. It was scary. Like, you could, like, some people have said on set that, you know, certain times and certain points of the movie, it felt like something else was in the room, like some energy was on set. I promise you that Michael jumped into that nigga's body. I promise you that Michael said, hold up. I've been over here chilling, but you know what? I need to make a little appearance real quick. Because certain things that he did was just too spot on. It was too spot on, and I promise you that Michael jumped inside that man's body. But Jafar did a really good job at capturing his spirit. Like I said, he wasn't imitating him. He was really, you know, he was acting. Coleman Domingo. That's his name, right? The one that played Joe. The guy that played Joe Jackson. He scared me. He scared me. And it wasn't the makeup and it wasn't the contacts and none of that stuff. His whole vibe and attitude, you could feel that shit through the screen. And he scared me. I was scared of him. But at the same time, he pissed me off too. So he did his job. He did a very good job because he was pissing me off. Throughout that whole movie, he was pissing me off. Like, will you sit your ass down? And let me tell y'all something. There has been so many Michael movies that has came out over the years. And it seemed like every time they make a Michael movie or they make a Jackson movie, Papa Joe just get worse and worse. He just get worse and worse. They be making that nigga look like the devil. Now, granted, some of the stuff that he did, I did not agree with. Some of this shit was OD. It was like, you didn't have to do that. But I think we can all agree that, you know, him being as hard as he was is what made not only Michael, but all of the Jacksons what they are. Like, but still, he ain't had to do all that. And Coleman Domingo really brought him out. Like, I was like, this nigga, would you go sit down? Like, you getting on everybody's nerve. Go sit down. Giuliano Valdi, that was the little boy that played little Michael Jackson. He choked me up. That's the only time in the movie I got a little choked up is watching him. Like when he was singing Who's Loving You, well, he wasn't singing it, but when he was acting, when he was pretending to sing Who's Loving You, I just got the feeling of this little boy is a prodigy, which Michael was. Michael was a prodigy. Like, this little boy is a prodigy. And this is not anything that he asked for. This is just something that he was born with. But at the same time, he's a little boy. And when Papa Joe was beating him, girl, y'all should have heard me in that theater. Them people was looking at me like I was crazy. I was like, you ain't had to do that. Because he said, we want to go to sleep. We did a good job. He said, Joe, we did a good job. We want to go to bed. And that nigga beat him for that. Every single time. And every time he was like eating the ice cream and watching the Three Stooges and stuff, he was just so cute. And I just wanted him to win. Like, I just looked at him like I wanted him to win. I said, oh, he was just so cute. But he choked me up. He did choke me up. He did a good job at capturing, you know, little Michael Jackson. Now let's get into what I did not like. Y'all, it wasn't nothing major that I didn't like. It was, you could probably call it petty shit. But at the same time, I think that I'm right when it comes to it. The Thriller scene. I did not like the Thriller scene. I'm sorry. I didn't like the performance. Now, granted, when the movie first was about to come out and they were dropping like clips and pictures and stuff, and I seen the pictures, I was like, I said too much. Too much. Like, Michael was a monster, and they made him look like a monster. But Jafar, they made him look like, I don't even know what that was. it was beyond scary. It was like weird. It wasn't scary looking. It was just weird. Like, what's wrong with your face? Like, it looked like that's supposed to be a mask, but it's not giving mask. It's giving somebody fucked up on the makeup. That's what it looked like to me. So I didn't like that. And then, y'all, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I was born in 86, right? Thriller was my lullaby music. Now, I don't know if it was my mother or my father that was obsessed with the Thriller album, but that was my lullaby music. I used to go to sleep. I used to fall asleep to the Thriller album. Thriller was influential. It was colossal. It was huge. We're talking about the greatest selling album to this day, the greatest selling album of all time. Thriller was a mini movie turned into a music video. Like it was a music video made out to be like a mini movie where an actual movie director, like I think Michael was the only person that did that. You got people that direct videos, but Michael is like the only, I might be wrong, but I think Michael is the only person that used actual movie directors to direct his videos. He used John Singleton at one point. He used Martin Scorsese. He used Spike Lee. Like, he the only person that used movie directors to direct his videos. And nobody had ever did that before. There wasn't ever a Thriller before Thriller. So for you to have it in the movie, and the only thing you really see is that bad performance and him saying, "Hold on, can you please tell John to make sure he cuts to my feet?" I'm like, that's it? That's all y'all really gonna... And there was so much into making Thriller. And if you watch the making of Thriller, you know what I'm talking about. Not only that, I think that Jafar is tall. I don't know how tall Jafar is, but I think that he's very tall. He's not Michael's height, but it could have been just me and my eyes. But it seemed like he was taller than all the zombies in the video. So it made it look weird. It made it look like he was dancing with little kids. And maybe that's, that with the makeup that wasn't good makeup. And that, it just looked distorted. It looked crazy. And for me, for Thriller to be what it was, they should have did better with that scene. So I didn't like that scene. Girl, Nia Long ain't do nothing in this movie but eat ice cream and eat popcorn. She ain't had no lines. I think she had like 5 lines throughout the whole movie. And I think the movie was like 2 hours long and she had like 5 lines. Not only that, but they made Catherine look like a real, like look, mad pussy. I'm sorry. They made her look so... And we seen Catherine Jackson. Catherine Jackson talks when she needs to talk. She's quiet, but let me let y'all know. Catherine Jackson got the same birthday as my mother. They both Tauruses, right? And I know they can keep the peace, but they not pussy. And they just made her look very... I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna sit here and eat ice cream and eat popcorn. That scene where his hair got caught on fire and they were in the hospital and Joe was like, well, when can he perform again? And she gave him that look. I was like, that's all you gonna give him is a look? You ain't gonna say nothing? She was just like, and I'm like, say something, Catherine. Say something. Like, nigga, is you stupid? Like, are you crazy? Like, but she was just too damn quiet. She was too quiet. And I'm like, listen, I know that their mother is very soft-spoken, but that, just because you soft-spoken does not mean that you pussy. And I feel like they made her look very pussy, and they only had her in there eating ice cream and eating popcorn. And I did not like that. Now, when the movie was about to come out, they released all these pictures of who was playing the Jackson 5, who was playing Papa Joe, who was playing Catherine, who was playing LaToya, who was like, they made such a big deal. These are the people playing the Jackson 5. And you look and you say, damn, that's some good casting. They look real good because they all look related, which is the Jacksons. The Jacksons, they don't all look exactly alike. Some of them look exactly alike, but all in all, you put them all in the same room, they look related. And the people that they casted, I felt like that's dope because none of these people are related and they look related. The movie come out and you don't see none of them motherfuckers. Where was the Jackson 5 at? They was there, but the Jackson, where was the Jackson 5 at? I did not see the Jackson 5, y'all. They was there, but I ain't see that. I couldn't, if I walked past them people in the street, I wouldn't be able to tell you, oh, they was in the Michael movie. I didn't see them people. And listen, I understand Michael was the biggest. Michael by far is the biggest Jackson. But that does not mean, I don't like the way they was shitting on the Jackson 5. I do not like that. The Jackson 5 was dope. Like, the Jackson 5, I feel, added to his greatness. He wouldn't have been that great if it wasn't for his brothers. And the way that they played them people like a B-side, like they wasn't all that important, I didn't like that. Well, you only seen them in a couple of scenes, even the performance scenes, you didn't really see them. Now, granted, it's a Michael movie, but you can't mention Michael Jackson without the Jackson 5. Like, come on. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. Like, I wonder how much some people got paid to for you to just see the side of their face or the back of their head or their shoe or their hand. I don't like that. I did not like that at all. I did not like the way they downplayed the Jackson 5. Now, all in all, the way that the movie was shot, the performance scenes were dope, but now the director, he did Bohemian Rhapsody. I didn't like Bohemian Rhapsody. Now, I'm not a huge Queen fan, and I don't know a whole bunch of shit about Queen, but I know a little something about Queen, and I know a little something about Freddie Mercury. I didn't like the way that shit was shot. I just felt like it was too dreamy. I just didn't like it. I didn't like the way it put, just like Get On Up. I love Chadwick Boseman. He did his thing in that movie, but the way it was shot was trash. It's like the minute you get into a scene and you start to really be in the scene with the characters, like, all right, I'm getting it now. It cut to something else. And then you had to get into a whole nother scene. I just didn't like it. I felt like it was too much. I felt like it was too like this. And they were focusing on shit that wasn't really all that important. And I just didn't like the way it was shot. They did all right, but it could have been shot better. It could have been shot better in a sense of it didn't marinate. They didn't give the scenes time. They didn't give the scenes time to marinate. They ain't let it marinate. You know, when Michael used to perform, and he used to be trying to get the band together. There's footage of it. And he used to be trying to get the band together. He used to say, you know, take your time. Let it sizzle. Let it sizzle. Let it sizzle a little bit. You know, give it time. Like, let it marinate. They ain't let the scenes marinate. And that's why I didn't like it. I'm like, this is too much going on right now. And it's too much, like, we focusing too much on this and we don't need to. We need to be focusing on this. You know, that's the only reason why. That's the only thing. I just feel like they ain't let it marinate. But that's the only thing. Now, lastly, everybody's critiques of this damn movie. Now, from the time that before the movie came out, everybody was making critiques about it. The number one critique, which was so fucking stupid. I'm like, what's wrong with people? The fact that the allegations that Michael faced were not included into the movie. The movie takes place from 1960 something to 1988. For you dumb fuckers out there. For you dumb fuckers out there. Michael didn't get accused of doing what they said he was doing until 93 or 94. He didn't get accused until the Dangerous album. When he dropped the Dangerous album, that's when all the accusations started coming out. We are talking specifically about Off the Wall and Thriller. The peak of his career. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about the little boys. And the fact that y'all was going so hard and y'all really wanted to see that is crazy to me. And people was like, oh, they making him look like he was perfect. They making him look like he just did no wrong. Ain't nobody said that. But it just so happened that the timeline that was in the movie, Michael was at the pinnacle of his success. He didn't do no wrong, like in nobody's eyes. Everybody was dressing like him. Everybody was out there buying the little beater jackets and the Thriller jackets and getting the Jerry curl and doing all type of stuff like that. Michael was on top of the world at that time. So the fact that y'all are going so hard about these allegations being included is crazy. It's crazy work. Like the fact that people are so interested in seeing that man's downfall, like, god damn, he can't have a movie with its good things. Like, he can't have a movie with its good things where it shows the good parts of his life. Like, y'all really want to see the downfall? Like, that's fucked up. But anyway, yeah, for you dumb motherfuckers, you're not gonna see that. And secondly, there's supposed to be a part 2. I don't know how true it is, but there's supposed to be a part 2 of the movie coming out. So I'm sure they'll touch on certain things. Now, the movie was done and it could have been included in this one. Like this movie didn't have to be broken up. But because of legal issues with these people that made accusations against him, because of court papers, because of documents and legal issues, they had to do it this way. They had to cut out a lot of parts. So I do believe that if they do have a sequel, we'll see all that. But y'all calm down. Another critique that people had, the fact that Janet wasn't in the movie. Why the fuck Janet needed to have special scenes in a Michael movie? Can y'all tell me why Janet, it was necessary? You ain't even seen the Jackson 5. Why did Janet need to be included in this movie? And I'm talking about people talking about you didn't see her in the movie. Nobody played her. Why did Janet need to be included in the movie? Can I put y'all on to something that probably a lot of y'all don't know because y'all don't know Michael's history prior to maybe the 90s and 2000s and the Invincible album and all that. Y'all don't know 70s, 60s Michael. Like, let me break it down to y'all. Janet was not around. I get it. Y'all seen Scream. And you said, oh, they're so close. Oh my goodness. You see her do the little thing that she did. I think that was the Grammys. I don't know if it was the Grammys or the American Movie Awards. But you see her doing, giving him the little award and them doing Scream together. Listen, y'all. Again, Off the Wall and Thriller. That era. Janet was not around. She was around, but Janet wasn't around like that. Janet was off doing different strokes. She was off, I think, maybe still doing Good Times. She might have been off Good Times at that time. I think she was doing different strokes. But Janet was off making albums that wasn't selling. She had 2 albums prior to Control that wasn't selling. Like, Janet wasn't Janet the Jackson that we know at that time. She wasn't. His road dog, his twin was LaToya. Check the footage. Go back and check the footage at that time, who he's always with. Who he up in the club, who he up in Studio 54 dancing with. It's not Janet. It's Latoya. Latoya motherfucking Jackson. Latoya is my Gemini sister, so I gotta rep for her. People be sleeping on Latoya. Latoya, let me tell y'all. Latoya, they say she's the most untalented Jackson. It ain't that. She just can't sing. That's the only thing. She can't sing, but she can dance. She had style. A lot of Janet style. Later on, Control. I would say mainly the Control album. You see it. You can see the influence that her sister had on her. But again, she was Michael's road dog. They got matching nose jobs. They had the matching baby hairs. That was his twin. That was his twin for real. Now, in the 90s, when Latoya got married, and that fat, nasty, ugly, abusive husband that she had with his old ass, and he started abusing her and making her say all this type of stuff against her family and her brother, is when that relationship got fucked up. And then I believe that's when, Janet was older and Janet was at the height of her career, and it was more understandable. Like, it made more sense for him to gravitate more towards Janet or to collab with Janet, because Janet was not at the same level as him, but Janet was taking off, She's the other Jackson, the other famous Jackson. But Latoya was his twin, y'all. So it wasn't no reason for Janet to be in there. Janet was going to be in there doing what? We talking post-Scream. We talking post-Control. So what Janet had to be in there for? Latoya was in there, and barely, like the rest of the family, barely, but the person that needed to be in there needed to be in there. And again, it's a Michael movie. It don't need to be worried about Janet. I love Janet the Jackson, y'all. Janet is my girl. But let's be honest. Let's keep it a buck. At that time, she was not the Janet Jackson that we knew. And I think her and Michael are the same with me and my sister. They're 7 years apart. Him and Latoya are only 2 years apart. Who would you go to clubs with? Who would you hang out with more? Like, let's be honest. But yeah, y'all need to get over that. And the last thing, everybody's critiques. I don't know what y'all wanted to see in this movie. Now, honestly, I've been a Michael Jackson fan since birth. I've been a Michael Jackson fan since birth. I was up there in the check cashing place, 2009, crying up in the check cashing place when they said that he went into cardiac arrest and then he ended up dying. I was up there with Roxy and them on 106 Apart breaking down. Yes, I've been a Michael Jackson fan since birth. Now, throughout that man's life, he's been very private. And we didn't find out about stuff that he didn't want us to find out about. If y'all noticed, a whole bunch of stuff started coming out after he died. Like, a whole bunch of people started releasing shit after he passed away. But while he was alive, everything that there was to know, we knew. We knew about the Jackson 5. We knew about his abusive father. We knew about, his genius. We knew he was a child prodigy. We knew that, he had a fixation with animals and that he rather been around children than adults. Like, we knew all that shit. We knew all that shit. So I don't know if y'all went into this movie expecting I didn't know that type moment. But what else could there be to find out about Michael Jackson? So I just feel like y'all went in there with too much. Instead of just enjoying the movie, because it was a good movie. But instead of just going in there, enjoying the movie and the nostalgia, a lot of y'all went in there like the nosy bitches that you are. Like the nosy bitches that y'all are, expecting some drama, and because it wasn't enough drama, that movie was trash. Oh, that movie was garbage. Oh, you see how they making him look? They making him look like he was perfect. Like, come on. But I believe that's why a lot of y'all was talking so much shit about this movie, is because y'all didn't get a shocker. Like, oh my gosh, did you know this? Like, I feel like we ain't never gonna get that about Michael Jackson. He told us what he wanted us to know. He wrote a whole book, and he did the little bullshit interview with Martin Bashir, and that's as close as we getting, y'all. So don't even be looking for some other shit. That's as close as we getting. But overall, I like the movie, and I think that everybody should go see the movie. Just for nostalgia. Just for nostalgia. But if you an 80s baby like me, you'll enjoy it. Like, just for nostalgia and all that good stuff. But yeah, y'all, other than that, you know, like I said, I thought it was a very good movie, and Jafar did his thing. You know, Oscar nomination, I don't know about all that, but he did his thing. I think he did a good job. I think he paid a beautiful tribute to his uncle. A beautiful tribute to his uncle, and he did his thing. But anyway, y'all, that's it for this video. I hope that y'all enjoyed this first little movie review. Like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so that you know the next time I post. And I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.
This ain't no visit, it's a hostile takeover, you better learn it. The queen is here to stay, the game is over, yeah, she earned it. The queen is here to stay, the game is over, yeah, she earned it. That's Tracy Michelle, putting the whole city down. The queen is here to stay, the game is over, yeah, she earned it.